this is a link to my Twitch. So actually, if you open it, then you can see what I am doing, and then you can follow along in setup, and then we can. All right.
I see it.
So what you should have is Vassal 3.7.15. That's the newest version currently, and the module version is 2.4.2.
Yes, that's what I have.
Yeah, and you basically right click, open module, or double click on it, and it will open with a. I will just pull the window to the stream. So yeah, basically if you have two monitors, that's the better way to play, because then you can have um, stuff on your left monitor and your playing area on the right. But yeah, you can
Mm.
manage with one. Uh, and so you press look for a game online, then press next. Then if you have, I will just minimize this one. This is a Vassal main window here,
Hmm.
and then you have the models tab, which
Okay.
opens this rosters window. And because I set it up like that my Vassal is in different windows, and you set it up by going to File, Preferences. I'll just put it here, and there is a. Uh, my eyes are just a bit sleepy, but it says use combine application window here above JVM maximum heap. I usually unclick that, so my Vassal is in different windows, but I saw people use a combined window. It's your preference. And then there is this center on opponent's moves, but below that I also uncheck that, because that I think sometimes moves your scrolls your windows a bit, but it's it's either way you like. I prefer it for streaming, because then I have a single map window uh, that is my whole screen, and then it's better for visibility. So what we do here is we go File, New Game. Oh, actually not. Before that, we go into the server window here, because we are now in the main room. This is the main lobby, and you cannot create games here, and you need to create a separate room. I will just go and make a room called intro, type it in, press enter or press create, and then I am in this intro game here, and it shows me here. So you join the intro game, just double clicking on it, and when you are inside, or after, I go to here, file, new game 3v3. I will just press map 1, and that will give me on this window, and I will just pick player 1, and then it opens the map window like this, and then we can um, have it here. We can have it here as fit height. Yeah, basically we can do it like this, but we can also zoom in with control scroll wheel, um, and center it like that. um, I think I will zoom in, or actually, yeah. Do you have the map window open like me?
Do I hit new game or I hit new game again?
No, you should have now the map open, because I started it.
It didn't pop open for me.
If you didn't, then click on my name in the in those on that channel view, and right click and click synchronize,
Synchronize.
and, and then
Ah, join as player two. Okay, there
and
it is.
then it should load for you, because
It's asking me to start new log file? Do I hit yes,
Yeah,
no, or don't prompt?
no, you don't need that.
Okay, so no.
You can uncheck that log file prompt also in the settings because it's not really useful for our games. Uh, at least I never used the log file, but yeah, that log file just saves every dice roll and chat basically that you made. But we are using voice chat, so that will not be
Okay,
saved. But
that makes sense.
okay, so you have the map, and now
Yes.
in your vessel, because you are still using the the single window one, you just press their models and then you just start taking out your models that you want to use. Do you have a warband you want to use?
No, I haven't even created a warband. I was just, since I'm buying the starter box, or looking to buy the starter box,
Yeah,
I was just gonna pick 3 dudes from there.
yeah. Then when we can play the starter box, the people that are on the painting. So we have. I will just grab them and pull them out. Let's see. We need a models thing, and I will just put it on stream because I have a separate window. But what the starter box is, we have Zeron, and you just pull the model from one window to the other. Then we have Skull on one
How did
side.
you get that window open again? The
Uh,
one that has the models?
if you switch to the screen, there is the main window. Let me check it here. No, not this one. Um, here.
Ah, I see it now.
There is a
Okay.
big black rosters or models button. Where is my?
Yeah,
Ah, okay, here.
I had it minimized or
Yeah, yeah,
squished,
yeah.
so when I pressed it, it didn't pop up
Yeah,
like your little
if you
pop-out
just
window.
press a lot of times, then it will bring it back up. And also you have the stat cards window. And if you are using a single window, you might need to resize, sometimes temporarily resize uh, the top window to the map, or that's why I use separate windows because it's much more
Yeah,
visible. Uh, if
I don't have separate monitors, unfortunately.
okay, then it's maybe better to have it on one window. I'm not sure. But so
Okay.
this is the stat windows and the models window. Uh, Basically, you can swap and with Alt Tab, if you are on Windows, then you can swap. So let us continue with the
Gotcha.
rest of the gang. We have Rakir also here, and then their opponents are. It's called. Who do they have Don Regar.
Yeah, Dawn Rhaegar,
Don Regar,
Alandir.
not Arondir. They have Brock the dwarf,
Yes,
and
Brock.
they have a Soul Gazer saying. Alandir is I don't know if he's in the main box or not, but he's not on the basic tree. So saying like this. Now on Vessel, I will select the bottom three models, and you can select them by either clicking click and then control clicking them, and then or you can draw a small invisible frame around them to select them, and then if you press Control R, it changes the frame color, but there is also a menu. I will just change them to green. uh, Maybe just a moment. I will change them to yellow. That's a
Okay.
better. Now we have this thing, and here on the monster pit it says random tier 1. We need
Hmm.
a tier 1 monster. That is also in the models tab. Let me just here, but it's under a separate thing here at rosters, and then rand monster 1 3. This is a spawning pit, and we usually do it like put it on the edge of the map, right click and well, not right click because it doesn't have, but any item you have, you can click and press Ctrl C to clone it. So I will just do that twice and just make two additional things of this one, copies, because I need because as we kill monsters we will need to respawn them, and basically we will place one at the random one and then right click randomize monsters and we get the gloom. Good. So we are ready to start the game here, and basically in this game there is no pick and ban because you only have the three heroes, and
Mhm.
in this game mode uh, the effigies are not chargeable, and they also have this stealth rule, which means that you must be at two hexes. I'm placing the upper models that is a two hex distance. You need to be there to shoot them with magic or ranged attacks. So
So
that is
the
because the heroes get quite powerful in trees quite fast, and they can really quickly end the effigy, especially Brock. And so Brock must walk up to it and then hit it to kill the effigy, or they can shoot it like this. So this is a special rule for trees, so the game is um, more balanced, because in fives, if in the big game, this rule doesn't exist. So you can attack the effigy, but the effigy in fives has more hit points, and yeah, that's the difference. And in threes has less hit points, and some heroes can kill it more easily. So, what do you know about the game? Do you know anything? Or
basically no.
okay.
I bought the original board game back when it was first introduced.
Oh, nice.
Never got to play it really, and I lost the board game somewhere, so I'm having to rebuy it.
But
And
you mean the hex one or the version one measuring one with the big models?
it might have been version one with the measuring. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
yeah. Well, the old models are really big. They are like filling up your fist, and the new models are 40 millimeters, and the old models are 50 millimeter base and quite huge.
I
Um,
have the old one because I got the Dwarf guy and the Pyromancer, and their base is big. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so what the game is about is I will just let me change the scene in here. It says Judgment, and then like this, so it's better visible for the viewers. So basically, I will just grab the effigies. The effigies are the gods, and they summon heroes from across time and space to collect souls and fight for them. And they basically let's want to grab souls, and this is Krognar, and let me just grab the other, and this is Ista. I'll just grab some effigies, effigy top, effigy bottom, and Krognar also has his other here, effigy bottom. So we have the four types of effigies. It depends on whether you are going first or second, and which side you choose and which team you choose. Uh, so Ista, the good guys, so to say, are more focused on healing and resilience, and Krognar ones, the darker ones, are more focused on dealing damage, necromancy, and their effigy power is It's quite strong because it lets you recall to your effigy for one action point less, and that makes
Hmm.
them very mobile. And Ista's effigy power gives them um, uh, when it is called, it gives them an ability to leave combat and also flight, so they can when charging they can go over models, terrain, and everything. It's quite useful. Um, which team do you prefer?
I'll play Ista since I
Okay,
already got these guys down here.
all right, and then we just do okay. Let me just quickly explain how the game is being won. So basically, each effigy, I will just remove the sorry, this effigy label can be removed. It just shows where
Oh,
we. Yeah, yeah, it's just a label, and it's very tricky when you want to select your effigy to move it or adjust its health. Then then mostly you click the letters on effigy and you don't select the right item. So that's what needs to be. With Control X you can delete things. So usually, oh, so this is not Ista, and I will just go with Krognar. Krognar is also. I need the other Krognar one. Krognar effigy top there. All right. Well, it's not looking pretty, but all right. So, how the game is played. The effigies in trees um, have 16 hit points, and
how did you change that?
if you click on the letters, then you select the effigies. It's not really visible, but then you can use the H key and J key to uh, go up and down on the hit points, or on the US keyboard you can press the minus and the equal signs to go minus and plus. I think it doesn't work properly on my keyboard because it's not US English layout, so I modify the vessel module to have it on H and J as well. So whatever you is more comfortable for you. But or you right click it and there is a sub menu, and there can you go to wounds, raise wounds, and you can click it with the mouse. It's pretty yeah, it's a bit slower like that, but it also can be done with the mouse. So these effigies have 16 boxes, and you can attack them. Well, more limited it is because you must be close to shoot them, and you need to walk to them and attack them. But if you kill them, uh, they are dead. But it's hard to kill a 16 point effigy because um, whatever damage you do to it, if the turn ends without killing it, next turn it will automatically heal up to its current maximum HP. So you need to have a better plan. But there are souls, and the souls will spawn, and we need to collect them. Also, if you kill, just a moment, if you kill opposing models, you also get souls, and each soul will decrease the opponent's effigy health and maximum health by 4. So basically, as we start fighting on the map and we kill each other, um, souls will get attached to our heroes, and then the opponent's effigy will lose four boxes basically from its pool and its health for each soul that is attached to the opposing hero. So uh, as the game progresses, we get one soul, we get two souls. Then the effigy will be at 8 boxes, and then it is possible to, with one or two hero activations, to finish it off. and then if you finish it off, then you win. You can also win by simply collecting 4 souls. That is more sometimes happens faster, and you can get souls on 2 ways. Either you kill opposing heroes and you get their souls, or there are these red tokens. Those are soul tokens, and they spawn here on these soul pits. It's called these blue hexes there, where the red um, thing is on is a soul pit, and a soul is spawning there. But currently it's inactive, and we will randomize which one will spawn the soul first in turn 2, and then in turn 3 it will spawn on the opposite sides, and turn 4 it will spawn a spawn on the opposite side. If there are two souls that are unbound, that means that they're not attached to a hero, then no additional souls will spawn, it will remain on 2. And souls will, at the beginning of the turn, if they are unbound, they will move to the closest hero. Um, D2 hexes and also monsters will try to hit you and kill you during the game. So that's the basic of it. You fight, you try to get souls. Now how do you get souls? Souls can be picked up by a soul harvesting check, and there are models who are better at it, and there are models who are really bad at it. We have each a soul gazer. On the top team, there it is Zaron, and he has a soul harvest score of 6. That's that's a high score, and um, and basically how you do it is you need to be near to the soul, mostly uh, adjacent hex to it, and then you spend 2 action points out of your 3 to try to harvest the soul. You roll 2d6, add your soul harvest, and you need to reach 12 to make a successful soul harvest check. So Zaron and Saiyan on the bottom team, they have soul harvest 6, so they can just walk up and roll 2d6. If they roll a 6, 6 and 6 is 12, they harvest the soul. Now, the other people, for example, Donregar is a soul harvest 3. He needs a 9 to harvest. Then we have Rakir, who is soul harvest 2, so he needs 10 on 2 dice to harvest, so it's extremely hard for him to harvest a soul, so he basically resorts to violence and tries to kill the opposing heroes, opposing monsters. That's why therefore he is there for violence, and Skull is the middle of the road from that. He has a soul harvest of 4. A soul harvest of 4 is basically possible. Now, uh, there are soul gazers, and Saiyan and Zaron are soul gazers. That is their class, and they are special. That they are extra talented in grabbing souls, and they can uh, harvest souls from 2 hexes away. Saiyan and Zaron, and they also contest souls from 2 hexes away. Everyone else must be base to base, so they are pretty poor at harvesting souls, but with a soul harvest of 4 you can attempt it. With the reroll you could probably get it. It depends on the dice, but it's, yeah, with an 8 with a reroll is around 50%, or maybe a bit better, so it's not that impossible. And there are also modifiers, just like you will see in combat. If you have, for example, Rakir is standing next to a soul and Zaron comes up to harvest the soul. Now Rakir is next to the soul. Zaron's soul harvesting check is improved by 1, so he only needs to roll a 5 instead of 6 to grab that soul. And if Skull is also adjacent to the soul, now he only needs to roll a 4 on 2 dice um, to harvest the soul instead of a 6. So you can improve your chances like this, and that also means that if Saiyan wants to grab this soul here, instead of a 6, she will need a a 6 plus 1, 2, and 3 because Zaron is contesting from 2 hexes away. So she would need a 9 to grab that soul. It's pretty hard to do for her. So you need to make that board state so you secure the soul. All right. I think you will see it as we go because yeah, the complete game has a lot of nuance, but you will see. Right.
Hmm.
We can roll off and then yeah, you can choose to be first and second if you win. So on the right side here you have the dice things. Let's see if we click here. With Alt click you can create these mappings to show your opponent what you are
Like,
referring to. So basically, if you click in this box, it will roll that many dice. It's pretty simple. You just click and it rolls. And and on
okay.
here between the fate things, it will summarize which result you have. You have swords, um, which is a 4, 5, 6, and it counts. You have one sword. Then there's a judgment symbol. Those are your sixes, which are one sword and one maneuver. And then there is the maneuver, the little arrow on the top here, uh, and
Mhm.
that one is used for pushing people or yourself. And also on your stat cards, some there are combat maneuvers. When you attack someone, you will generate a dice pool. You will take your three best dice and then choose the three best dice in a way that it generates your damage, and after that you can generate your maneuvers. And yeah, there is also fate. Fate can be is tracked here. Fate is used for rerolls. It is used for abilities that says that they have a cost of fate. For example, if you check out Rakir's stat cards, he has his toxin ability which costs one fate, and if he poisons someone and he is next to it, he can trigger that ability and it will give him 2d6 true damage, which is very, very, very strong, and basically assassinate people, but he needs to spend a fate. And I will tell you about how we make fate a bit as we start playing. So basically, we deploy. Our deployment zone is here, these hexes behind our effigy, and here at the bottom, these 5 hexes. On this map now, it's not shaded properly, uh, but basically it is like this, and scroll, and let's see. I deployed mine in my deployment zone, and you should take your ISTA and deploy it like this. I suggest you deploy Brock at the place where Donregar is, because in the first round you try to kill the monster and get the monster kill. And
Because he's a monster slayer.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But everyone needs to kill monsters because monsters will, when you kill the monsters, you will get a level up on your hero. It will generate fate if you are base to base with them when you kill them, and then if you are base to base with them when you kill them, you can buy magical artifacts for free. Otherwise, you can buy magical artifacts from your effigy if you are base to base with them, but you need to spend an action point for that. So it's better to get the first monster kill. Now in threes, if you start, it will go like the Brock will charge Gloom and it probably kill it because he is very good at killing monsters. But then you need to uh, see where Brock will be going, because then my Rakir can maybe charge or walk and charge your Brock and start attacking him. Um, every hero has 3 action points, and you have on your stat card you have a weapon which is listed, and it says cost one action point on, for example, Rakir, and it shows your damage grid. And basically, if you have 3 action points and you start your activation, you have an opponent already base to base with you, because for example, Rakir has reach 1. Everyone in this on this map has reach 1. There are some heroes that have reach 2, or for example, if you're shooting, then you usually have reach 5. Zaron has some magic firebolts that are reach 5, so 5 hexes. And basically you spend the action point, you roll your dice. If you are charging, then that's 1 action point plus the cost of the weapon. There are some weapons that have a cost of 2, so they are usually heavier and harder hitting weapons, but they cost 2 action points. So if you charge with those, then that single charge will take up all your 3 action points. All right. Um, Now, so we have our refugees, we have our heroes, top and bottom, and now it is time to start the game. You can take the first turn, and I would say that Brock should charge Gloom. Now, how do you charge? Brock has a speed of 2,
Hmm.
and he also has the ability. Let me just pull it up. I will just switch screens back because yeah, like this. Just let me check it. Like this. All right. Maybe that's better. He has a speed of 2, but he has in common innate abilities, he has an ability called dash. Dash says that on one of your move actions, you can take 1 extra hex. So he's a dwarf. He's slower. He can go 2 hexes at a time, but one of his 3 moves potentially can be a 3 hex move if he wants. So I would suggest you charge Gloom with a 4 hex move, because charge will take away one of your actions, but the charge always gives you a +2 hex bonus. So if you charge up, so a charge action on Brock will consume two of his action points, but it will bring him here next to Gloom, and then you can attack it. So you
Okay,
basically,
so when you charge, it's your movement +2.
it's always movement +2, yeah.
Okay, so technically on a charge, I could charge 5 hexes
You can
because
also
of dash,
charge,
right?
yeah, you can use your dash on your charge move if you declare it, and then you can charge also 5 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can charge also here, and you can charge here, but you can also charge here. If you charge here, that will be 5 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you charge here, it will be only 4 hexes, and then on your second action, if you want it, you can then take your dash and walk 3, but it's your choice. If you charge here, then you will be standing in the cloud, and standing in the cloud um, gives you effectively stealth, like the effigy has, that you can only be shot and attacked by spells if the opponent is standing within 2 hexes. So it gives you protection against my Zaron if you remain in the cloud. If you are behind the cloud, then that will block line of sight to you, so you cannot be charged from that angle, for example. So I would suggest you charge the Gloom here, or maybe here in the cloud, and then we will see what the dice gives us.
So, general question.
Yes.
When I charge, it takes 2 actions, you said.
Yeah.
Is that attack free on the action?
Your attack is 1, and your charge costs 1. So if you declare the charge, then it's a move and attack. It costs 2 in total, but basically you pay 2 for a move and attack, and you get
So the
two
attack is
extra.
baked in to me
Yes,
getting that action. Okay.
Yes, two extra hexes you gain from the charge, and your attack will also get two bonus dice on the charge. So basically, in this game, how people engage other models is 99% always charging them or shooting them. But yeah, charges are always beneficial to doing it. So just walking up and hitting is basically only being done if you are prevented from charging, um, because some effects, for example, the effigies have a cannot charge me rule um,
Okay.
in this. I will just grab some token, but you can move Brock in the meantime.
Yeah. I will charge. So one, two, three, four, and I will attack with my great axe.
Yep. Uh,
Um, so what type of dice do I roll?
you will roll judgment dice, and the dice pool is determined as such. Your Brock has a melee of
7.
yes, and the Gloom has an agility of 4. So I will just put no charges. Just uh, I will just put these little beads here.
And we gained a fate point for the start of the game, right?
Yeah, it's already there.
Okay, that takes into account. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, we already have it. So basically, Gloom, if you click him, and you have the stat card window open,
Hmm.
which you should have, or you can follow along on your mobile. But basically, Gloom has an agility of 4. So most attacks you are attacking your opponent's agility. He's an agility of 4. So the difference is 3 dice. And because you charge, you get 2 dice. So Brock will roll 5 dice against Gloom, which you can do now.
By
He,
selecting the number 5, right?
yes,
Okay, so 5.
that's
So
very nice. That will what will give you? It will give you 3 swords and 1 maneuver. In this game, you rolled 5, but you always need to select 3 dice, uh, 3 of your dice to that you will use. Sometimes you need more damage, then you pick more swords. Sometimes you want to take maneuvers to trigger your special abilities or push yourself around or push your opponent around. In this case, it's better. It's optimal to you to take the 3 swords. That is called a critical hit, because if you check Brock's stat cards,
it allows me to attack immediately with backswing, right?
that as well, and it also determines your damage. If you check the Great Axe profile, it says
Hmm.
glance is 2 damage, that's 1 sword. Solid is 3 damage, that's 2 swords. And there are small white swords above that. I
Yeah, I
don't
see
know.
that now.
Yeah,
It's
so
hard to see them at first.
the crit is 3 swords. So you pick the 3 swords, you do 5 damage. But because Brock is a monster slayer, he has the monster slayer rule. That's an additional 1 damage against monsters. So basically, you with this crit, you do 6 damage to this Gloom. Now you click Gloom on his portrait, and then you press the H key or the minus key 6 times, and you reduce him to 2. Now, Brock has a special rule which is called backswing,
Mhm.
and it says when Great Axe attack crits, and the crit is rolling 3 swords, uh, and the J, as the 6 is a sword and a maneuver in one, so it's even better. But now we have 3 swords. Then you can immediately make another Great Axe attack for free, and uh, and that will also damage. But that additional attack cannot score critical blows. So even if you roll 3 swords on your next attacks, it will never crit. But or even the a single sword damage is enough to kill Gloom, because your minimum damage is 2, against Gloom is 3, so even one sword will kill it. So now you take your second attack. This will not be a charge attack, it will be just a normal 3 dice attack. Um, you take it, and now you have an ideal roll basically. You have a J, which gives you one sword, so that's the damage there. And you have two maneuvers, and a J gives you a third maneuver. So basically you have three pushes on Brock to push him around. Now Gloom will die. I will just remove him here. And now what you get, well, I deleted him before time, but if you open Gloom's card, I will just I will generate another Gloom. If we click on him,
Mm-hmm.
Gloom has a bounty of one fate on his stat card. That means that you can immediately add one fate to your fate pool.
Okay.
So you click, and then because you have slain Gruul, you immediately can do a buy sell trade action. That means that you can get magical items. Now there are a couple of couple of magical items in the game. I will just uh, grab one. There are offensive and defensive magical items in the game. Each hero can hold one offensive and one defensive, and you have a deck of magical items. That means that if a hero is taking a certain type of magical items, other heroes in your warband cannot take the same. So what the Brock needs is a Warper Blade. I will just pull it here so it is shown on the stream. That gives him +1 melee attack. And I would suggest getting, let's see, from the defensive items there is a boots. For example, boots of agility. These two. And those, it says cost one fate. So I would suggest, in this case, to spend your fate to 0 and add to Brock these two items. How we do that in Vassal is usually we don't pull those stat cards out, but you click Brock, you right click on him, and I'm just checking. Oh yeah, in core you have um, change name or Control N, and then you can write Warpaw and Agi boots. We usually do it like this, so add it to his name that everyone can see that he is um, he has his gear, and these will because Warpole gives you +1 melee, and that greatly increases your chance on every attack to getting a crit. And if you get a crit, you get a free attack and more damage. So it's very very good for Brock because he really likes his dice pool. But because he took Warpole and Edgy Boots, no other hero from your warband can take Warpole and Edgy Boots um, until you sell it back. If you are at your effigy, kill another monsters, you can, if you say I need something else, you can sell back the Warpole, get back that fate, and in that same action you can buy another offensive item that you might need. There is a offensive item that goes through resilience on heroes, so it's called an armor shredder. Sometimes that's better. And there's a boots of speed, which is also offensive, that gives you more speed. So but we will stick to these very simple magical items for this game because there will be mostly just +1 to one of your stats, but it makes a huge difference in the dice pools. And so Brock has charge. He used up 2 of his action points, and he still has now at the second attack here. He has no with the rule change. If you have a 0 action point attack like this one, you cannot use pushes. You can use combat maneuvers, but you cannot use pushes on them. So Rock stays there, but he has his third action point, and now he can take his move, and you can also take your move with dash because you only went 4 hexes here. You did not use up your dash, so you can walk 3 hexes from there somewhere. It is better to use. I think it's would better to use to hide behind the cloud here because if you leave him there, for example, then my Rakir can immediately charge your Brock, start doing damage to him. So it's better to hide him behind this cloud, here, here, or here. I would suggest going, for example, here, um, to hide him, because this whole center, this is a cloud which blocks line of sight, and these two volcanic hexes will damage you for 1 point if you enter them. And it slows you down, but that is also part of the cloud. So if you stay here, my Zaron and my Rakir and my Skull will not be able to see you and charge you. For the first section, I would need to, with Rakir, I would need to walk first and then charge, but then I only have a single attack. So that's a pretty safe spot there. So when Brock is done, you click his portrait and press Ctrl M as moved, and then it will mark his rim with this effect that says that he already went this turn. It's activated. Now it's my turn, and I need to think about what I want to do.
So I do have a couple questions because
Yeah,
I know
sure,
you
sure,
said I
sure.
didn't get to do it and just things in general. You said I couldn't do pushes because it was a free attack.
Yes,
Understandable.
yeah.
What does a push typically entail, though?
A push is basically moving yourself or your opponent 1 hex. So
In
basically
any direction.
any direction, and
Okay.
uh, and you can also divide your pushes. For example, in this attack you had some damage and you have 3 pushes, and you could say, you could, for example, push Gloom. If he survived, you could push Gloom for 1 hex, push yourself 2 hexes, or you push Gloom 3 hexes in a single direction. So you can divide it whatever, but one push icon is 1 hex. So you can think about it and push for example, you could have pushed yourself here next to the soul pit if you wanted, but it's, or with the pushes you could have pushed yourself in the smoke and then walked,
Hmm.
but pushes are always straight lines. So while you can walk however you want, pushes are always straight lines. And so if Gloom is
So when
here,
I start the push, I have to keep going in that direction.
yeah, you cannot push Gloom with one action here, for example, because that's not straight. You can push him here, you can push him here, but you cannot push him into this hex because that one is not straight. Um,
Mhm.
so that's the,
Okay.
yeah, right. So it's a lot of rules at the front, but
No,
it,
it's okay.
it, it
I play other miniature games, so I kind of get it, and that's why I'm asking these questions, just
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because it helps me remember.
What other
I know there's a
games do you
level up.
play?
I used to play War Machine and Hordes.
Well,
I play Marvel Crisis Protocol now a lot. That's my main game. I
mm,
play a little bit of Warhammer, but I kind of got out of it, and I'm just playing Kill Team now because I
uh,
realized I just kind of like the skirmish game level better than big old full war games. So,
yeah, yeah. Well, I have a basic knowledge of MCP, and I do play War Machine actively, so I can give you some references there. Now, uh, so what we need to do here, so your turn is over, my turn starts. I want, uh, one more thing. This is a shrine here. Let me just, um, a shrine. A shrine is here, this one. The shrine
uh huh.
is like an objective in MCP or War Machine and Hordes. Basically, if you stand next to it at the beginning of turn and the opponent is not contesting it by standing next to it, then it will generate a fate for you. So it's also good to control it, but in itself it doesn't. It gives cover because it's a statue of sorts. Usually it doesn't really, because it's a single hex thing, it will never obscure line of sight, so you always see through. And models also don't obscure line of sight, so you can see through models and shoot the backline. So it's that in that way it's not like War Machine that you cannot really block line of sight with models, but any terrain that is more than one hex will act as a line of sight blocker. So this isn't impossible. This is a stone column here that will not block line of sight, but this and this shrine also will not block line of sight, but they will, if you are give you cover against shooting and also give you -1 die against melee if you are yeah, like in War Machine, the edges of houses and walls, it will give you
Gotcha.
a slight penalty. Now, so you grab the tier 1 monster. I need to either go with Rakir and try to charge Brock, or I need to concentrate my forces on this shrine to make my base here. A soul will spawn next turn, but we don't know which side. So either left or right, it has to be randomized, so I really don't know what will happen.
Oh, so those souls aren't spawned yet.
No, no, no. They will be blue when spawned. These are just the potential. So turn 2 will spawn them, but we don't know yet where we. So
Mm.
Rakir has a speed of 3 and he can charge, but the problem is even if I move here, I don't have line of sight to Brock. In the rulebook, it tells you how line of sight is checked, but you basically see it with your naked bare eyes that here it is not. Um, your hexes and my hexes are not even here. Let me check. There, there. From that hex, I would have line of sight to you, but in this hex, for example, I would not have line of sight to you because there is this edge of this cloud that is still obscuring. Um, so if I take my move to here, I still don't have line of sight. If I take a move to here, I have line of sight, but I'm too far away. I also cannot charge over the wall because Rakir doesn't have Pathfinder, I think. But let me check his stat cards. I think he doesn't have it. Yeah,
I have a quick question.
sure, sure, sure.
Um, does do walls not a block line of sight?
Walls don't block line of sight because the walls are height 1 and models are height 2. So basically, those are like old school War Machine walls, which are like knee high.
Mm,
don't
okay.
and don't block line of sight, but they will give you cover and everything. There are some gremlins in the game now, which are height 1, and the walls are also height 1. And if you have a gremlin on the one side of the wall and another gremlin on another side of the wall, then they cannot see each other. And also souls are also height 1. So if you have a gremlin, goblin, I'm not sure. If you have a soul on one side of the wall and the goblin on the other side, he could, for example, not do a soul harvest across the wall because he's too short and he cannot see it. But these people are our height 2. Even the dwarfs are height 2, so they're not that small. There are some smaller,
Gotcha.
but so they are just cover. And all right, so my first activation, Rakir, really cannot go. What I could, if I could walk into the one to the to the cloud, then like in War Machine back in the day, if you are in the cloud, then you can see out of the cloud, and I could charge through, but I cannot.
Mm,
So basically, even Skull, if he would go here with 3, he will be still outside the cloud, cannot charge. So what I will do is basically I will try to go here on the right side, and I will try to make it so that I will got the monster. I will try to get the shrine. So next turn I get some extra fate if you don't contest it, or and build myself position. So I will activate Skull, and Skull will
you
basically
can move through your shrine.
you can move through your own effigy.
Effigy, sorry.
The
Yeah.
shrine is this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can move, but you cannot see through it. So Skull cannot declare charges here because he basically cannot see anyone but just Rakir and Zaron, so that's not optimal. But if you
Gotcha.
can see someone, then you can go through, but only through friendly shrines. I cannot charge through your shrine, I cannot see through your shrine. So Skull will, he has an ability called Bulwark, and I will use that one. Let's see, Bulwark, Bulwark, Bulwark. I'll just go to hero tokens in this rosters window, and I will just grab that thing, Bulwark. What Bulwark does is it is 5 temporary HP that lasts until Skull's next activation. So in this game, which is very good, when you put buffs and debuffs, it doesn't end at the end of the round, but it will go through until that hero's next activations. So
Got it.
it's so who really starts the turn and ends the turn is not really that important because the buffs will and debuffs will persist until your next activation. So for 1 action points, he will put the Bulwark on Rakir. He can only put the Bulwark on non-defender models. He's a defender, and and then he has 2 actions, and then he will start walking. He will go 1, 2, 3 to here, and then he will walk 1, 2, 3 here, base to base with this shrine, and he will just end his activation. That's all he can do. He's a defender, a supporter, and his main support is that he gives us this temporary HP, which will expire. But if you start hitting Rakir, then first the Bulwark gets removed, and then his normal boxes. So it's pretty protective, pretty useful. So you have your next activation. You have your Don Regar. Don Regar is a defender, who can once per turn redirect uh,
Attacks to him.
an attack to him. That's very strong, and his main ability is this Stone Form. Stone Form will drop his agility by to 1 basically, but it will push up his resilience to 3. That means that every attack damage will be reduced by 3. So Brock has a top end damage of 5. So even if Brock, for example, crits him, it will only do him two boxes. And Donnie also has um, he has regeneration too because he's a Minotaur, and that means at the beginning of the round he will heal for 2 boxes. So you went with Donnie. You went 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you stay on the shrine, and if you want, you can activate Stone Form.
Where do I find the tokens at?
If you go back to this rosters window or rosters, there is a hero tokens there where we got our heroes. There are, if you check out my stream, uh, you can see it. And
Models,
there are models,
heroes.
gods, monsters, and there are hero tokens. And uh, it's
Aha.
called Stone Form.
Stone.
They are alphabetically sorted. Stone Form, there it is. So for example, you can make him,
Oops.
mark him as Stone Form.
Okay, cool. And how do you say you delete things? Control X. Got it.
Control X, or you just pull it outside of the playing area. For these tokens, it's usually good to just pull it out from the map and then pull it back in like normal tokens.
That
All
makes
right,
sense since they'll keep using
so
it.
come again?
That makes sense since they'll keep using it. So
Yeah. Some things you want to delete, like a monsters, because for example, this gloom I can delete because a random monster will get randomized. I think there are 2 tier 1 monsters. So there is a small demon of sorts that could also spawn. Okay, Stoneform. Well, this is very unpleasant for me because Stoneform also gives you an immunity to pushes, immunity to knockdown. So basically, there is uh, no real way for me to move Donnie off of that shrine. So we need to improvise and check out things. Let's see. Now I need to think about what Zaron wants to do, and mm,
So the redirection ability on my Dawn is once per round. So is
Oh,
that once per character activation or once per like entire round of
once per
activations?
entire round.
Gotcha.
It's pretty strong, and it's only in two hexes. So if you move up Saiyan next activation, and if you on that part of the board, it's useful to put her in base to base or two hexes away from Donnie, so that you have that protection active there. Now, so you are going there. No one is getting that shrine, so maybe it's not. I'm just thinking. Zaron has an ability that lets him summon skeletons. I will just do that. He will walk 1, 2, 3 to here. Now, in this position, if next turn the soul spawns here, he is in place to harvest that soul. And what I would like to do is, for example, I will spend a fate and an action. His ability is called From Below. Summon a model of the type Minor, Undead, Necromancer, Familiar, Skeleton. Currently, there are only only skeletons in the game for this summon, and uh, so I need to grab the skeletons card or the skeletons model to see what his cost is, but I know that it's one action point and one fate. So the skeletons are now pretty expensive, but if Zaron somehow gets a soul, then his skeletons will become only one action points. I don't need to spend a fate for them. But I want to grab a skeleton to show you that there is this type of model. Just let me. Where is it?
Is it under
Rosters.
monsters?
It's heroes and summons, and then on the top you switch to summons, and we grab a skeleton. A skeleton will get summoned here.
Ah,
I'm just checking. And now the skeleton is a minor model. It has two action points, and it can immediately activate and walk. And I think I will do just that. The skeleton also doesn't have line of sight to Brock, so it's a perfect placement. I'm just checking. If I place the skeleton here, then the skeleton will have line of sight to Brock, so maybe I could, yeah, I will place the skeleton there, and I will try to charge Brock. And now how chargers work. So what you did before, it was a straight line charge, but there is also a slalom charge, and there is also a sidestep. So I will just make copies of the skeleton and show you. First things first, you need line of sight. The skeleton has line of sight to Brock, and he has a speed of 3. I will just check that to be make sure. Yeah, movement of 3, so he can charge 5. He has 2 action points, so that's 1 charge. How he will do that is he will first sidestep to there, and then you can either go down, left, or you can go left, down. So I will go left, and then down, and left. Just a moment. So
and
this,
so I guess line of sight works from the edge of the hex. So since you can
yes, edge of the
draw a line of
hex.
sight from this edge to this edge
Yeah, that's
unobscured, that's why it's not blocked.
Yeah, that's right. So,
Okay.
so basically, this charge consists of the first move is a sidestep. A sidestep is every model has sidestep. Basically, when you are doing a charge, first you can move to any adjacent hex, any direction, and from there you either go straight, like Brock did, or you do this slalom charge. So went one hex down to here, and then I went from that position left, down, and left again. Uh, it's uh, it's not that complicated if you check it. Basically, this if you take this line of the hex which is in front of the skeleton here and you extend it, you will see that that is the same line and this is the same line like here. So if I would continue this charge for infinity, then it will be again down and then again left and then again down and left. That would be this. So it's straight, but in a slalom hex way. That's the way to do it. But I will delete the exoskeletons because it's getting
Um,
quite.
that sidestep you were talking about, does that take one of your movement points?
Yes.
Okay,
So
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 that does take
skeleton
one.
has five
Okay.
hexes, and with the sidestep and everything, he used up um, 4 hexes of movement. So now I'm at Brock, and Skeleton is not a very strong fighter, but he can do pushes and a minor damage, so that's fine. Oh, and one more thing, if you right-click Brock, you can see, you set him to level 2 because he is level 2. He killed a monster. That will give you
Oh,
some.
so I automatically level up upon killing a monster?
Yes, monsters
Okay.
and heroes give you level up, but killing summons like a skeleton will not give you a level up. So you say the module automatically raises Brock's HP, and you also gain your level 2 ability, which is quite useful. It's if you played War Machine, it's like an auto tough thing where basically if you reduce to 0, you auto heal back 1. So the opponent needs one more attack to finish you off. If you are on fire or other healing prevention effect is on you, then this will not trigger because you cannot heal and you die. But you will, if you killed, you will get back to 1 box, and it's usually it can be too much to kill because then the opponent doesn't have an additional action point to finish you off. So skeleton, his stats are he has an melee of 2. You have an agility of 4 because you have the edgy boots. So that gives
Hmm.
me basically a negative difference, but how this game works is your dice pool, your attack dice pool always has a minimum of 1 die, and then the charge bonus is added after that. So basically, even if I was to charge the skeleton agility 100 model, which is I would still have 1 die and then two for the charge bonus. So I will have 3 dice. So in this case, if you had fate, you could have the option to spend 1 fate to reduce my dice pool by 1, but you don't. So I would just roll 3 dice. I would just click it like this, and then click 3 dice. That gives me a single sword. That does you 1 damage, and then the skeleton is done. And Zaron summoned the skeleton, and he still has one more action point. So I will just continue his movement. I will stand on the soul pit. Standing on the soul pit gives me an option that when the soul spawns, I can determine which adjacent hex I want it to spawn. Um, so I can move it closer to my own lines. But it's a bit risky because Saiyan can now shoot me, but it is what it is. So Zaron is done. He summoned the skeleton charged, and Zaron walked once more. So we are preparing for next round. Maybe the soul will spawn here, maybe it won't. So now you have Saiyan. Saiyan is your soul gazer, but she can also have attack people with magical attacks. So let's see what's her range. Her range on her reach is 4. So she can either stay there, start shooting the skeleton, or she can and she was now changed ability was changed to point blank. Only she has it, I think, and I need to check how that works now. But basically, if you are in melee, you cannot use ranged weapon, and you cannot use magic attacks at all. So you basically need to leave combat, need to go out, take a free strike, which is called a parting blow here, and then you can do your things. Saiyan is special that she can also do magic in combat, but I think modifiers, if your target is engaged, are still affecting her. I just need to check because it changed in this patch, and I'm not. Just a second. Um, and let's see, documents, downloads. Ah, there it is. Judgment Rulebook 2.3.1. But maybe there is a newer one. So whole of uh, whole of the Eternal Champions is the main site. There's the rulebook, but there's also game rules, common innate abilities, and then we point blank, point blank. Oh yeah, there it is. I will just draw this window here into this. So it says point blank. This model can use its ranger magic basic attack to make attacks against adjacent enemy models even if this model is engaged in melee. So that gives you this gunfighter type of thing. The models suffer distracted modifiers from enemy models engaging them as if they were making a melee attack other than engagement from the target of the attack. The firing into melee modifier does not apply for attacks targeting an adjacent enemy model. So what that means is if you stay here and shoot the skeleton will get plus one agility bonus against you because Brock is engaging it. If you walk uh, into combat with the skeleton here, then you can attack it without penalty because then you are adjacent to it. And basically you can walk and kill that skeleton if you want, or you can walk a bit because Zaron is exactly 5 hexes away. You cannot shoot him right away. You can, for example, walk a bit and then shoot Zaron. If you stay here, then you must attack the skeleton because you cannot use magic attacks against uh, because you are engaged, but you can use it to attack people who are uh, engaging you or you are in melee with. So it's your choice, but you can also say that Saiyan wants to walk over this side to anticipate the soul there, but then Rakir has the last activation, so it's not that safe to go on that side because Rakir can then maybe start attacking people. So it's your choice to do something with Saiyan. I would stay on this side somewhere, maybe here. That would be 2 hexes from Donny, and then you can maybe kill that skeleton. A skeleton is agility 2, so it's pretty easy to kill.
Alright, so what I'll do is I'll move here,
Mm.
and then we'll shoot you. So
Yep.
since you're not getting the +1, and my magic's 7 and your agility's 2, I get
Yeah.
5 dice, right?
5 dice.
Okay.
And that roll, you have 2 swords with a J and a sword. That gives you 3 damage, and then you have maneuvers. Sane doesn't have any combat maneuvers on her card, so but she can push herself if you want. If you are doing magic and ranged, baseline you can only push yourself because and with melee you can push and shove your opponent and yourself as well, but with ranged and magic you can only push yourself. But I think in this case you would definitely do 3 points of damage to the skeleton, and then you
When
can
I push myself, if I want to push myself here, do you still get that parting blow you talked about?
no pushes are not subject to parting blows.
Okay.
um, I think that works the same in MCP as well. uh, you
In
have
MCP, there's no
uh,
parting blow thing at all.
yeah,
You can
yeah.
just walk out. But I was just making sure. So yes, I would like to push myself then to here.
That's fine. and then you can still shoot the skeleton once more, and
Yeah.
it will be
Um,
one less die because now you are not base to base with it, and Brock
mhm.
is doing a dynamic fight with the skeleton.
I have another question about it. Uh, trying to remember my question now. I don't remember what my question was. Not your. I just couldn't remember. Okay. Yeah, we'll shoot it again, and I'll get 4 dice now.
Yep,
I
and
got
that's
a
enough to
hit
kill it.
and a push.
I will
And so
just
since I get a hit, I'll do the 2 damage,
yep,
and I get another push. Am I able to push myself into melee?
yeah, wherever you want. So this melee non-melee is not like GW games, so you can push any hex you want.
Okay. So this, if I have my 2 characters next to it, do I control the shrine?
No, that this is not like MCP. It's single model is enough to contest. Uh,
Okay, so your one model contestant and my one model contestant doesn't matter if I have multiple dudes
yeah,
there.
yeah, you cannot
It's,
overpower
that's okay.
here.
Okay. The other question I remember what it was now was is that for pushing or movement in general, can I push through my own models slash move through my own models?
No, not with pushes. So pushes are like in War Machine. They will stop if you contact anything at all. Uh, you can
Okay.
push, and terrain doesn't slow pushes. Um, but any model, any shrine, any solid object will stop it. So and also, but you can push, for example, here into the forest. Well, it's not that useful, but then, for example, Zaron cannot shoot you because it will be 3 hexes away, and yeah, forest gives you stealth, which says that you can only, but you can only also push here, for example. Well, that's a bit riskier, but if I plan to spawn, if the soul spawns here, I plan to spawn it on top of Zaron.
Yeah.
In
And
that
this lets
case,
me stay within 2.
Saiyan will not be in range to harvest it. She would have to
Yeah.
move and harvest. But if you push next to Zaron, Zaron has a sword. It's a weak sword, but it will give me a melee engagement bonus if I choose to attack with Skull or with Rakir. It will give me a +1 die bonus. So that's risky
I'll
because
push
Saiyan
to
is
here.
agility 5, but yeah. So basically that's your so you click
Yeah.
her, press Ctrl M for movement,
I
and
hit
now I need
control it.
to check out Rakir. So even if Rakir moves here and tries to charge down 3-5, he cannot reach Saiyan. So it's pretty impossible to do. I need to think about it, what I want to do. Well, basically I will just uh,
Oh, Rakir doesn't have dash. That's weird.
uh, and Sane has dash because basically humans are speed 3, that's the baseline, and elves are a bit faster, so they have speed 3 with dash, so they can walk 3, 3, and 4, and orcs are also 3, 3, and 3, and dwarves are like 2, 2, and 3. So dwarves are slower, but basically well, you need your dash, so they charge the same. But Saiyan cannot charge because she doesn't have a melee weapon, but other elves can charge, and then they can charge 6 hexes baseline. Let's see, what do we do with this stupid Rakir? Because he doesn't have a good target. What Rakir can do, there are shadow orbs, and Zaron can also put down a shadow orb, which I forgot to do. But if you have shadow orbs, uh, Rakir can, for 1 action point, teleport to do one of those shadow orbs. So if I had a shadow orb placed down here with Zaron, which I forgot, then Rakir could, for example, for 1 action point, place himself here next to Skull and then hit Saiyan twice. But I didn't do that, so hmm, I will just walk down here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I will walk here like this and end activation. So Now the first turn is done, and I have this bulwark. What happens? Next turn starts a regeneration. Only Donny has it, but he is full. Everyone else doesn't have it. That's the first phase. Basically, just regen in the first phase. Here, if you open this map, it has a sequence of turn sequence on the top above the
Hmm.
dice. Start of communion phase. Step 2, move unbound souls and then monsters. There are no unbound souls, there are no monsters. Third step, generate fate. This is turn 2. We get a free fate each. So in first and second two, you get free fate. The shrine is contested. No one gets anything from it. Um, so we uh, so we go to the next step, which is fourth step is spawn souls and monsters. Now it gets interesting. Now we randomize first the soul. The soul on the left will spawn on a dice roll of 1, 2, 3. And on 4, 5, 6 it will spawn underneath 0. So let's try that. I will just roll it 2 and right click core toggle spawning. So there you have an unbound soul on the left. That's
Oh,
pretty
okay.
pretty good. But next time it will spawn on the Zaron, but that's next turn. Good. And then it says spawn monsters. So monsters will get uh, respawn, but not immediately. So I will just clone a random monster tier 1, place it on this hex, and next turn from this token a monster will spawn. And if you are standing on this hex or next to it, the monster will immediately attack you. The monsters hit hard. They hit a bit harder than heroes. They have melee 8 and the damage grid is also, I think, better, a point better than, for example, Brock. It's for Gloom, it's
Okay.
a 3, 5, 6 or something. So they hit hard. And also, if you are pushed into a monster is pushed into you, you are teleported next to a monster, it will always take a bite. So it's really sometimes it's a dance around the monsters. First turn you can kill the monster easy, that's cool. But then when the fighting starts, when the monsters respawn, then the monster will get quite dangerous. We will see next turn. So small monster is marked, and then resurrect hero models. No hero models dead. And end of communion phase is step 6. Well, this is not exactly correct, because step 6 is actually is is where you can call your effigy powers if you want. Now, um, you are the first player, right? So you can decide if you want to call your effigy power. Your effigy power will give you flight and nimble. Nimble means immunity to free strikes. So basically, if you declare it, Sane can just walk away from there and not worry about the thing. And flight on charges, you can charge, for example, with Brock, you can charge here, for example. You just fly over and you don't ignore terrain and everything. It's pretty good. I'm not sure if it's worth declaring, but for example, Sane is now engaged by 2, so if she wants to walk away from there, she will get free strikes. Free strikes are your normal dice pool plus 1. I will just click my heroes and with control and press Ctrl M to uncheck them, and you can also uncheck your heroes. So you decide if you want to declare that effigy power,
I
and
will pass on that.
I think I will also pass on my effigy power because I didn't put out a shadow orb either with Rakir or with Zaron. So if you are playing Krognar, this is not the way to do it. Shadow orbs are useful. You can have 3 of them on the board, and then with my effigy power, I can teleport to a shadow orb. So, for example, if Rakir was to walk here, put down a shadow orb. Now, with my effigy power, I could have teleported Zaron to that shadow orb and then be in a position to harvest that soul. But yeah, I didn't do that. So right,
So will I always be the first player?
you are a first player now. If you kill one of my models uh, before he activates, then I will be the first player. So you cannot pass like in MCP. So basically, you can reverse the turn order because it's always you and me and you and me, and whoever had the last activation will not have the first activation next round. His opponent will start the turn. So that is also important. But basically, whoever ended last will go second because yeah,
Okay, so
it's
it's like MCP in that regards that whoever activated their model last, the other person will be first in the next round.
yeah. But in MCP there are passes if you have less models, so you can here you cannot do a pass action to.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, you
All
have the
right.
first tab. No
That's
one called their effigy powers, and yeah, I think Brock could charge in and uh,
yeah.
and
Well,
mess Zaron up.
I don't
Sayin
think I
doesn't
should
have
go
a
first.
melee weapon, so she will
Contribute the
not
bonus.
contribute, but still you have the Warpole, so you are pretty dangerous. I think if you
I will charge a straight line to here.
yep, Zaron is agility
Uh,
4. You have a melee of 8,
eight.
8 with the
Yeah,
Warpole, so that's 4 dice, 6 dice on the charge. I will not spend a fate to reduce that to 5 because it's my fate is precious this turn. So you roll 6 dice and you check what you have. You want to roll a crit. That's 3 6s and a lot.
that's really
So
good.
that's really good. So
All
basically
right.
that will give me 5 damage and you have 3 pushes. So what you can do is push
Do
Zaron
I
in.
have to push?
No, but you can
Okay.
put Zaron here into the lava. That will give me 1 more
Oh,
damage,
that's right. It's any direction.
any direction, and you can also
That's
push
right.
yourself. Um, or you
I
push
will.
yourself to here and pull Zaron there. So there are a lot of choices.
I'll push you into the lava
I will take 1 more
for the
damage, and now
one.
you have your backswing because you rolled a crit.
Do I? Can I push myself one square too, or is it I
Yeah,
have to push one model?
no, you have 3 pushes. You use 1 push for him, so you have 2 more pushes to go. You can even push Zaron, for example, here or over. But I think this position is good here.
Do I have three pushes or five?
You always take your 3 best dice, and because you take 3 best dice,
Oh, that's right. I take the
that
three judgment dice
3
specifically.
judgment that gives you 3 swords and 3 pushes. That's the most you can get on the
Damn.
roll. So
Got it.
if you remember Signs and Portents from War Machine, where you would roll dice and drop the lowest, so
That's right.
judgment is like infinite Signs and Portents. You always increase your dice pool, but you always only pick 3, but those 3 will be hopefully super good because uh, because your dice pool is improving, and then you can roll things like this. With 6 dice you can get 3 sixes easily. With 3 dice you can get it, but it's not really likely. So
Gotcha.
now you have your backswing. The backswing is the
Which
same dice pool, but you cannot crit, but you can still do 3
and it's
damage.
not the charge bonuses either.
Yeah. So
So I'm only
this
gonna get
this will
four instead of my
be
six dice.
yeah 4 dice because you are 8
Yeah.
to my 4,
Yes.
and
So I take
that will.
so two's a miss, right?
Yeah. It summarizes on 2 is 1 and 2 are blanks, but you should
Gotcha.
just check between those fate. It counts how much of each type you have. So you have solid damage. That's 3 points, and you have 3 pushes. One, two, three.
Yep. Um, I will not push you anywhere.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that was the charge, and now you have 1 more action points to
Oh,
hit me with 4 dice, and if you crit, then again with the 4 dice. But maybe you
so I
will.
would get to do backswing again.
Yes, every attack has
Ah,
a chance to trigger backswing, but on 4 dice it's harder to crit, but people
yeah.
usually do
Right.
it, but
I'll
sometimes they roll.
do.
So basically here,
What are you at? Five. I
I
could
have
be greedy. I could be very greedy. I like to be greedy. I actually am gonna do the pushes that I rolled, and I'll push you one square into the lava.
I think that will not give me additional damage because I'm already in it, but
Oh,
because this is a single terrain piece, these two hexes. But yeah, I'm just thinking if if you push me, for example, here, but then you cannot attack me, but you could push me here. Uh, well, if on a charge attack you pushed me here, then I would enter the lava, get that point. Now with this push, you could push me back and give me one more point, for example. So you can,
gotcha. I didn't realize it counted as the same piece of terrain. That makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It's the nuances.
good
Okay.
to know. Okay. Then what I'll do is I will push you because I want to be able to push you back into the lava or something like that.
Well,
I will
on
push
the
you
backswing
here.
you cannot, but we will see. But if you score the crit, I will die, and if you don't score the crit, you will
Oh,
not have the backswing either way. So it all depends on
then
the.
I don't get to push you anyway because my backswing is what triggered those two pushes. So those don't get a push anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I always
Okay. All
forget
right.
that it got
All right.
standardized. Okay, so I have five,
Actually,
so you have a four dice hit against me,
yep.
and that's the last one. You can reroll this with fate. I think it's better to save the fate for later because it's very
That's
precious.
fair.
But if you want to, if it's a game-winning move, yeah, sure, you can try to fish for three swords. It's yeah,
Nah.
three times four plus on four dice. It's possible, but yeah. So that's one
I'll just do
sword,
two damage.
one two damage, and Zaron is hurting, but
And
Brock is finally done.
then double push to here.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All right. Now, Brock, you can mark him as moved. And now I need to take my vengeance on Brock because he is getting out of hand. So let's see. We will go with Rakir. Rakir, you can always declare charges. Even if you're engaged, you might get free strikes, parting blows. But Sane doesn't have a weapon, so I would just use Rakir and he will charge Brock down to here. That will be a left and down um, charge like this. Now, Rakir has a 7. He has, you have a
Four.
4 with agility boots. So that gives you a pool of 3 dice and plus 2 for the charging 5. And if you wanted, now you could spend a fate to make that 5 dice pool a 4 dice pool. This is a hard decision, but I think it's not useful in this case because it's pretty expensive. It's usually use this ability when you have a lot of fate. Sometimes you have 5, 6, 7 fate after you start collecting souls, controlling shrines, and then the
Hmm.
fate is more plentiful. So I would just roll 5 dice against Brock and we'll see what happens. Rolling
Yeah.
5, and that will give me a single sword and 2 maneuvers, or actually a sword and 3 maneuvers. So I will do 2 damage to Brock, 1 and 2, and Rakir has a combat maneuver which is poison, and it is called. Let me just check the name. Viper Strike is called. It says it takes 2 symbols. So in this case, I don't use pushes. I will use one character play, which is on my card, and I need to use 2 symbols for it. I have those 2 symbols, so I will apply poison to you. Right click, status.
Yep. I think it's that little yellow
Yeah,
green
yeah,
thing,
a
right?
little yellow. What the
Yeah.
poison gives is basically -1 to your offensive and defensive stats, but it doesn't slow your movement. It takes away your defensive, offensive dice pool, and you can find it on a website. It's -1 agility, But now Rakir has his Fate ability, which is his main damage dealing ability. It's called Toxin. And it says one fate cost, adjacent enemies that is suffering poison takes 2d6 through damage. Through damage means that it goes through resilience. For example, Donnie has a resilience of 3. Through damage would go through that. I will use that. I will spend one fate with him and I will roll 2d6 to damage you. It might be high, might be less high. Let's see. It's exactly average, so I have a 3 and a 4. So 7 damage to Brock.
2, 8.
Alright,
What
so
was it? 7.
that's not that good, but it's something. Okay, Rakir has one more action point, because this was only a fate cost, this toxin, and I need to continue doing damage here. So let's
So
see.
could you do Toxin twice if you had 2 fate points?
Uh, as a base rule, everything you have on your cards that is active ability, let me just pull up the window. Everything that is active ability, so it's called, it says active, it's once per activation. So most of these skills are, yeah, once per activation. Is not, they are not, well, they are, yeah, yeah. MCP, you have the super powers that you can spam,
Mhm.
but then some are marked that it's once per activation. Here, these everything that is an active ability, it might cost a fate, it might be free, or it might cost an action on a fate. Uh, it's always once per turn. So this toxin is unfortunately just once. Even if I had a lot more fate, I could not spam this. So it's only once. Um,
The only reason I asked is because on the card it doesn't say active next to it. It just says do it. I didn't know if that was like an error on the card
I think it's
or
an
not.
error on the card. It's an
Okay,
active ability
that makes sense.
because
I mean that completely makes sense.
you either have passive abilities like backswing. It says if you yeah, roll something, it triggers. You have active abilities that you either use or don't use, and you have combat maneuvers that you use or don't use based on your during an attack process. And toxin should have the active. Yeah, we should ping. I will write to Guns to have that corrected. Well, there's a, yeah, because the version is 2.1 for Rakir's card. Now we have 2.4, so maybe
Yeah, I see some of them have been updated to
let's see on the
2.4
heroes. If we
because
go
Zaren's
to
also 2.1.
go to Rakir on the site,
Yeah, I'm looking them up. Where are you,
heroes.
Rakir?
No, Rakir's card is not updated also there. Yeah, that's a typo. I will talk to the people responsible. Okay, so I have one more action point, so I will swing at Brock once more. And now your agility is reduced by 1, you are 3, I'm a 7, so I have 4 dice on that swing. And I roll a big fat blank, so Rakir is done. Well, not done, because I have a 0 point action, which is
Shadow Orb.
Shadow Orb, finally. And that's hero tokens. Shadow Orb, player 1. So Shadow Orbs, if you are adjacent to them, you can spend an action points to destroy them. I will place a Shadow Orb here, and if someone is standing on the Shadow Orb, then I cannot use it for teleporting. So that could be a useful information. That, yeah. All right, over to you. Unfortunately, Rakir
Okay.
is everything that he did. For example, Donnie can swing at Zaron and finish him off because
Yeah, we'll just do
Dorian has
that.
a Donnie has Don Rhaegar has a 6, Zaron has a 4. So you will have a 2 dice pool, but if you hit him twice, um, and you roll one sword and one sword, then you could kill him, or in one swing if you roll 2 swords, then you kill him.
Yeah, we'll just
And
try it. So I'll roll 2 dice.
yeah, Okay,
Get a judgment.
that
So
is
I'll
two
do
two damage, and
two
there is a
damage.
push. It is
Can I
useful.
push you into
It's
the forest?
it's a good idea to push me into the forest because Zaron is now 2 hexes away from the soul pit. If somehow he survives and next turn rolls around, I could basically maybe grab that soul before I die or something like this. So it's always better to push Soul Gazer away from Soul Pits, but because then I need to move back Soul Gaze and then I'm stuck there. And yeah, just like in MCP, because it makes all the difference if you can attack and then move away. Then you have to move in, attack, and then you are stuck there uh, to be attacked by other people. Good. That's one action point, and now you have one more swing or two more swing if you don't want to use stone form.
We will swing. Oh, it's just another push.
You can use a fate to reroll if you want. So you reroll the whole dice pool. It has a
Mm,
decent chance to kill.
I don't think I need to do it. All right, let me see what this guy has. Mm, yeah, I think I'm fine with it happening. We'll just do 0 and then we'll attack you again.
Okay, so
Oh,
so no stone form this round.
no stone form this
That's
round.
fine.
I'll reroll.
Ah,
Oop. Okay, so now I'll spin the fate and I reroll both dice, right?
yeah, it's the whole dice pool.
There we
Now,
go.
sometimes you have to work for it. So Zaron is that you press Control Z and you mark him as dead, and
And I level up, correct?
you level up and you gain a soul. And you right click souls, add souls, and then you mark that Donnie has a single soul. And my
And then he.
effigy will get reduced by 4 boxes. It is on 12 boxes. So that's pretty bad. Now, my skull will go. When he activates, the bulwark expires on Rakir. And now
Mhm.
I want to see what I will do. I can see Brock because I can see through models and I can see through that shrine. So I will just decide to charge Brock there. The hazardous terrain will reduce my movement by 2, but I have 5 movement, so I can do those 3. I will
So you
go
can just do the straight line.
straight line there. I will get 1 damage because hazardous terrain does 1 point of armor piercing damage. So even though that skull has 1 resilience, it will still go through. But there is a couple of heroes with 2 resilience. They will not get damaged by this because they still have. So Skull is charging here. Skull is well interesting in that regard that he has um, a low melee attack here. He has only a 5. You have agility 3 now because you are poisoned. So that gives me a dice pool of 2. I have um, a charge bonus that will put me to 4 dice, and I have Rakir as my friend. It gives me 1 more dice. So I will have 5 dice on a charge. You don't have any fate, so you don't even have the option to stand. So I will just roll 5 dice and we will see what happens. 5, bam! That's a
Oh,
juicy 2 damage. Take that. Now, so 2 damage.
okay.
Skull has an ability called Dual Wield. It is similar like your backswing, but Dual Wield is not dependent on crits. You always get it, but it suffers a -1 dice pool. So calculating the dice pool, I have a 5, you have a 3, so that gives me 2 dice. Rakir gives me 3 dice, but Dual Wield attack brings it back to 2 dice. So now I roll 2 dice for that Dual Wield attack, and that will.
So why are you getting? So you just make sure I don't understand. So you're not getting the charge bonus on this next one, so it's 5. Minus 3 is 2. And
and
then +1 from Rakir,
and
and
minus
then
one
minus
because
1 back.
because dual
Okay.
wield has a minus one built in. It is different compared to your, which relies on crits, but the second dice pool is the same as the first. Dual wield is always minus one, so it's a bit weaker, but it's not dependent on crits.
Damage. Gotcha.
Okay, so that
And
was
one
go.
question about dual, just so I know in general. Is it just like backswing where you can do it every single attack action, or is it like once per attack
No,
action?
every action point spent, you can trigger a dual wield. So
Oh,
I
that's
I
cool.
did this on the charge, and I will have one more action point to do it. So one more normal action point will give me um, basically 3 dice because that's the normal
Mhm.
one. So 3 dice against Brock, and that will give me 2 damage and some pushes. Thinking about it. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Because even if I finish you off on my next attack with 2 dice, you have your level 2 ability, which says that you will basically heal back to 1. So that's
Mm.
the strength of that ability, that I simply don't have the action points to finish you off. So instead of doing that backswing, I will do 2 damage, and I will use the 2 pushes to push Brock here, placing you next to the monster, so that the monster, when it spawns, it will attack you, wipe out those 2 boxes, trigger your ability. So next turn, if I'm lucky, I can uh, I can maybe finish you off. That's the plan. So Skull is done there, and now you have Saiyan. Um,
Okay.
yeah, Saiyan to do. You can do a lot of things with Saiyan. You can walk away if Rakir gives you a free strike. Donnie can take it from her, and then you can walk away. But the soul will spawn here. Sane could harvest it, but Skoll and Rakir are standing next to it, so it will be basically rolling. You needed to roll an 8 with a reroll, probably. So it's doable, but hard. And then also Rakir and Skoll can attack you. And Sane, what can she do? Um,
Um,
or you just simply start attacking Rakir with your spells. That's also an option.
yeah. If I do go through multiple squares, do you get multiple attack of opportunities?
You mean free strikes?
Yeah, free strikes.
No, it is only when you leave from a square that is adjacent to me to a square that is not adjacent anymore. So if you
Okay, so
walk
if I
and
go
then,
like 1, 2, 3, then
yeah,
you'd get the free strike.
yeah, but because you are on that
Okay.
in this hex when I get it, whatever I roll, you can take it on Donnie, and then Donnie next turn will regenerate for 3 points because his level 2 ability is that he gains improved regen for every level he has. So my dice
Okay.
pool against Saiyan will be 3 dice, so that's it will do maybe 2, 3. It can do also 5 damage if I roll the crit, but then Donnie can take it and regen 3 of those damage already at the beginning of next turn. So, and you didn't use Donnie's redirection yet.
And do you get to push off of free strikes?
No, no. Free strikes only do damage, and if you roll a triple six, then there is a chance. Then you knock down the person who is trying to leave, and then it gets knocked down in the hex where it ended. But that knockdown, I think, is still not ending your activation. So if you have a fate, you can spend it, stand up, and then try again. Um, but yeah, it's sometimes it happens, but yeah, rolling triple sixes is not that easy. But that's the only thing that happens. Only damage, and the 666 can knock you down.
I'm just gonna attack. So
Yeah, that's fine.
magic is not a ranged attack for your Cloak of Shadows,
No,
correct?
it's
Okay.
a mage attack.
Okay.
MAG.
So my 7 to your 4 is 3 dice.
Yep.
So I'll roll 3. I'll get a push, but I'm not allowed to push except for myself.
You can push
And I'll
yourself.
do.
Uh, one. So that's. Did you roll already?
Yeah, I did. I rolled a
Okay.
judgment and a thing. So I can push myself too
I,
if I want
I
to.
would say you push because it's better to not be base to base with Rakir because when Rakir can stand and attack you 3 times, it's better
Hmm.
for him than doing charge and attack. I think the damage output is higher, so it's better for you to maybe push 1 hex up. You cannot push like that because
Oh,
that's
that's
not
right.
straight
It has
line.
to be straight line.
But maybe on next attack you can then push there and then you can
Yeah.
go around. So next attack, same dice, 3 dice,
Yep. Same
and
roll.
2 again and 2 pushes
So
again.
2. I'll push here. And we'll do it again.
Okay, that's two, one,
3
two,
damage.
three. That's getting out of hand. All right, Burak here. And Sane has a really nasty rule that if your target has souls, then she gets +1 damage on her grid for every soul that is on it. So
I
if
thought it
I
was pretty
had one,
cool.
two soul, then it can really wreck my face. But it was still pretty good like this. All right, I think that's end of the round. And now because you ended the round like that, I will get first activation. But first we go through the steps and we will see what happens. First things first, regeneration. Donnie is full. I would just click my heroes and uncheck their movement. Control M. And then, so first things first, start of community phase is mostly regen there. Second, move unbound souls and monsters. We have an unbound soul here, and it will move towards Brock. Because it's moving towards your hero, you can roll a d6, and it's a d2, basically a 1, 2, 3. It moves 1 hex, 4, 5, 6. It's moved 2 hexes, and you can determine
I
in which hex it does. And now, and it will move in a straight. Well, actually, it actually doesn't move in a straight line. So what you can do now, if you place the soul on the monster pit, then I'm just thinking if. I really don't know this. But if you place the soul on a monster pit, then the monster cannot spawn there, but it will spawn on one other hex, and then you can. I don't know if you can determine where it spawns. I think it still needs to spawn next to you because you are not the controller of the soul. If you have a hero on the monster pit, then you can determine which hex the monster will spawn, but then the monster will definitely attack you because you are on his pit.
Hmm.
But here with the soul, I'm not sure. I will just I will just type it in the rules questions. Maybe someone is. Um, but yeah, let's do it like this, and then let's play it that you can determine where the monster spawns, or we randomize the hex for now because no one controls the soul. Okay, monster pit.
Oh, there is actually a rule in the core rule books.
Here is it?
If it says if a soul slash monster is occupying the pit,
Hmm.
the soul slash monster will spawn adjacent to its pit and adjacent to the most heroes possible.
Oh, okay.
Randomize if there are multiple options or no adjacent heroes. If there are no unoccupied squares, it doesn't spawn. So yeah,
Okay.
it'd still spawn.
Yeah, it will still spawn, and I don't know if that's good or bad for you, but basically the monster will definitely attack Brock, so you cannot really prevent it. I don't know if
I'll go
maybe
here.
that's a better position, or top is better position because then Sane could if you place it top, then Sane can walk with a dash 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, she can walk here, for example, and pick it up. if you place it on top,
Let's
for
see.
example. But then, because my Zaron can respawn here, but my Zaron will only have 2 action points, so he cannot.
Oh,
He would have to move, and then he cannot harvest it because harvest is 2 action points. So
gotcha.
basically, yeah, Zaron is. So I think that is pretty good. So if you, I will have first activation, but still, then you have
Yeah,
more
I'll put it there.
options. If I go for Brock, then you grab the soul. That's a good play. So that's move soul as a monster. No monsters yet. Third step is generate fate. Now this is pretty hard for me because I have 0, and you will have 1 fate for your 1 soul, and then you roll d3 for the shrine that you control, and then you can add that many fate.
Oh, so it's D3 for the shrine.
D3,
So every soul gives you a fate too. Okay,
yes,
cool. I rolled a 1, so I
yeah,
get 1 fate.
yes. Um, you had 0, right?
Yeah, I was at 0.
So you are at 2 because 1 soul and 1 because this is turn 3 and we don't get the free fate anymore. Only in the only
Oh,
turn 1 and 2 just to get the game going more fast, but then after that. And this is a problem for me, a big problem, because now I don't have any fate. If you are at 0 fate at the end of this communion phase, you can damage one of your living heroes for for the third of his current health to gain a single fate. So I would do that. I will damage my skull for 7, and I will gain a single fate because Rakir has the toxin, and I really need the fate for that one. So that is fine. That is fine. I get the fate. So this is turn generate fate. Spawn souls and monsters. Now a soul will spawn here. Toggle spawning on the right side, and also a monster will spawn here. A gloom. Gloom will then immediately attack Brock because he can. If multiple heroes are standing adjacent to his pit, he will attack always the one with the highest health. And if you are standing on the soul pit, then you can determine where he goes, but he will attack the model standing on the soul pit. So Gloom will uh, bite Brock. You are edgy 4 with the boots, back to edgy 3 with the poison. So that means that he has an 8 Gloom, so he will roll 5 dice, bite you, and basically kill you. But because you are Brock, you will get reduced to 0 and then back to 1, so you are at 1 and still alive, and then this phase is done. Souls on sport. Fifth step, resurrect.
so if I died during this phase,
Then your no one
what
would
happened?
get anything. You would just die, and I would not get your soul. It's still advantages. It's still better for me that you. It's good for me that you die, but it's maybe better for me like this that I can. You trigger then your respawn ability this turn, so I just need to walk with one hero and stab you, and then I get your soul. That's good, but then Saiyant can still go and harvest. Okay, fifth step, respawn hero models. Zaron will come back, and I will just put him here next to my effigy, base to base with the effigy any way I want. Sometimes if the situation is dangerous, I can put him back there, but then he doesn't have line of sight. I will put him here. He comes
Okay.
back with 1 less action point, so he only has 2 action points and 5 less than his maximum HP, so with 9. Uh, so that's a problem for him. But he will maybe get back into the game. We don't know. And then it's end of communion phase, but it's a time to call effigy powers. And I will be first player, so I think I will call my effigy power, and I will just do that. So my effigy power enables me to place models next to my effigy or next to shadow orbs. So I will do just that. Rakir will get placed here like this, and I will place Zaron here like this to that uh, shadow orb. Um, just let me check the rules. I'm not sure if I can use that shadow orb if it is if it is occupied shadow. One of the shadow are able to manipulate use shadow orbs. Like enemy shadow orbs can be removed from player 1 AP by all heroes while your activated model is adjacent to them. Warrior can only have maximum. Shadow orbs cannot be used for any place effect while their hex is occupied by a non-token model. When a shadow orb is used for a place effect, remove the starting shadow orb, but not the shadow orb at the end of the movement. And is the soul? I really need to game rules rulebook. I really need to check if the soul is a non-token model or not. So yeah, sorry for this. It's really
Okay.
soul tokens. Souls X3 unbound, physically bound. So question, is the soul a token or is it not a token? And it says soul tokens. Collecting souls allows you to weaken and capture your opponent's effigy. Souls exist in three forms: unbound, bound, and banked when they are put into your effigy. I think it says here soul tokens. I will assume it is a soul token. Let's go with that. So I use my effigy and I place there. Now you can also use your effigy and let's see what it does. Is the effigy power does a lot of things. So let's see what it does. Um, Restoration potion, celestial effigy power. Friendly champions of Ista heroes can remove one condition, heal one health, and gain nimble and fly. So basically, if you call your effigy power, Brock will remove the poison, heals for one, and then all your heroes gain nimble, which is immunity to free strikes, and fly when you can go with your charges over
Mhm.
things. So basically, you call your effigy power, and I called mine, and then I have the first activation. So Brock will remove his poison and heal for one.
Um, I'll pass on using it
If you don't want to, then it's fine.
because
Okay.
all it does is kill Brock one and give me the power, but one
Well,
attack kills him anyway.
it
So,
also gives you nimble. So if Saiyan with nimble, she can without free strikes go to that hex that we mentioned here.
hmm
So if you have the nimble, you can just walk over there and grab that soul. And Rakir and Zaron both will not hit you. So that's pretty good. But if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah, I'll save it for now.
All right. So I have the first activation. So I really need to kill that Brock. So Skull will simply go there. Yeah, he will just charge you with a 1x charge. And then he has a 5, you have a 3, 3, 4 dice on a charge. Do you want to spend any fate? I don't think you want to.
I will not.
I will roll 4 and I will get minimum damage and I will get a push. So I kill you. I will go to level 2. I will add a soul and your Brock uh, will die and yeah. I have a push. I will push back here to improve my soul harvesting chances. Hmm. Yeah, pretty much do that, right?
Did you take a point of damage with the lava again?
I'm just considering this thing. No, I will
No, I was
not.
just asking. I didn't know
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you would
I will
because you
not push
started with
myself
movement.
there because when I started I don't. But if I push myself back, I would. But I have one
Mm.
more action point, so I will actually just uh, I will just walk my 3 hexes. I will just simply walk back here, avoiding that thing, and I will end
Hmm.
activation there. And Skull has a special thing where he has 2 heads because he is like a two-headed giant, and there is a mystic head and there is a mystic head and a warrior head. I will go a warrior. Control a warrior head. Let me check the thing. Um, yeah, the health gain is the same, but with warrior head, his melee attack improves from melee 5 to melee 6, and then he gains also a special 2 AP special attack, which has knockdown and things. But basically, he gains a lot of health, and he's better in combat now. So he will be a warrior, and then I need to level up on the warrior. Okay, so that's called done, and then your effigy is also reduced to 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, over to you.
Okay, let's see here. And you can't walk in the shrine, correct? It is actually like a blocking thing.
Yes, yes, it's a solid piece of terrain. So you must walk around it. I'm just checking if Sane has Pathfinder. She does not. She's a city elf. Some other elves have Pathfinder.
I'm gonna go with Donor Guard.
Hmm.
I'm gonna walk.
Well, you
Oh, I can
basically,
charge.
yeah, it's better. So a walk and a hit also consumes 2 action points, but you get
Yeah,
a
not,
weaker dice pool, so it's always better to charge
yeah. I'll
unless you are.
charge Rick here.
All right. So the dice mat on that one is you have a 6. Rakir has a 4. Um, that is 2 dice, 4 dice on the charge. There is a shrine
Mhm.
between us that reduces by 1, and Skull is engaging you, so that reduces by 1. That will give you a dice pool of 2 dice here.
Oh, the shrine
The shrine is
count
yeah, yeah,
equals to the rest.
it's like in War Machine
Um,
that if it's between us,
that's right.
it's a -1 dice for melee, -1 dice for magic, and -2 dice for ranged.
Okay.
So 2 dice.
So I get 2 dice. Okay.
That will be
Hit
a
and a
single
push.
push and 2 damage.
So I will push into damage.
Um, the soul, the hex occupied by the soul token, you cannot stand on. That's the only thing. So it's
Can't occupy soul tokens.
yeah. So they are models. All right.
I'll go here.
Mm-hmm.
I only got one push, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you have one more swing, or you can stone form.
I can't push myself because there will be physically nowhere to go. Yeah. We'll do another swing,
As call.
and yeah, we'll attack skull.
His edge is 3, so you have 3 dice.
Yep. So
That
one and
is
one again.
1 damage because I have resilience 1 and you have 1
Hmm.
push. So you push me or you push yourself.
I'll push you.
That's fine. That's actually pretty good because next turn then Gloom will go towards Call because monsters actually do get moving if they are not killed immediately. All right, now I have two options. Either I try the Soul Gaze with Zaron. That would be on worst dice, right? Because I have a 6, but you are within 2 with Sane, and she's a Soul Gazer, so she distracts me with Soul Gazing on 2 hexes, and Donnie is base to base, so that is not ideal. So let's go with Rakir, and Rakir will try to do something to Sane, but it's not too good odds. Hmm, let's see. Rakir will attack Sane for 2 dice because she's agility 5, slippery elf, and
Slippery.
I have a 7. So I will swing on Sane with 2 dice, try to do something, and Donnie can redirect this damage and pushes to himself, so it's pretty bad. But let's see, Rakir attacks with 2 dice. It will be a single push. Now you can decide if you want to take that with Donnie. If you don't,
Mm,
then I can push, for example, Sane away from you, and then you
yeah.
will not get the opportunity. So it's
I will take it over.
you take it. I will
Yeah.
then push so that's 1 point to Donnie because you have 1 resilience, and
Hmm.
I have a single push, so I will push Donnie down 1 here, so he doesn't interfere with my soul gazing. Okay, next attack into Sane. It's 2 dice.
Wait, you didn't roll a sword, so I'll take no damage, right?
Oh yeah. Yes. Sorry. I
Okay.
was remembering the previous. So that this is 2 damage into Saiyan.
Yep.
That's not too good. And then I will swing once more with 2 dice and do 2 damage more with Rakir. And then Rakir is done, but then I will just place down one more Shadow Orb where I'll place one here. Alright, you are up with Saiyan.
So her damage is 2,
2, 3, 4.
and
Have a
she'd
good
be
chance.
7 minus 4 is 3.
3 dice, 3 times the
7 minus.
weakest damage would kill Rakir.
Yep, and it's the same dice no matter what I do against Zarin and Rakir, And if I kill Zarin, that lets you go first next turn, which I
Mm.
don't want to do. Alright, so Zarin's
Oh,
gonna go.
and when Saiyan activates, she has an ability that
She gets to heal.
she heals for 1, and she would heal also every ally within 2, but there are no allies within 2. But if you
Correct.
level her up, then this healing becomes 2 points, and level 3 it will become 3 points. So it stacks up. All right, Saiyan going full aggressive mode.
So if I do Holy Shield, it says target friendly model with the 3X's cannot be applied to the model like Burn, Curse, Fear, and Poison.
Yeah.
If they already have that, does it fall off?
Uh, no, but it prevents targeting.
Okay.
Holy shield. Yeah. Yeah, cannot be applied, so it prevents application, and it's pretty good.
We'll just hit Rick here with the first attack.
Yeah, 3
See how
dice.
that goes.
Okay, that's
Alright,
not too
so I'll
good.
do
1, 2, 3
3
damage.
damage, and I
And
get to push myself.
yeah,
I'll push to here.
um, if you push to there, then for the next attack you will be distracted by Zaron, so you will get -1 dice pool.
Oh, because he has an actual melee weapon.
Yeah,
That's why.
he has a small sword,
Okay.
1, 2, 3
Then
or
no,
something like that.
I will not do that then, because I can't push you with magic attacks.
Yeah, there are 2 characters I think that are like telekinesis magicians. They can also push you with their magic attacks, but
Mm.
normally you cannot with the normal
Alright,
magic
I'll do it
missile.
again.
All right, 3 dice. Okay,
Just
that's
a judgment. So that's 2 damage.
2 damage and a single push.
But I'm not going to push. And then I'll spend my third action to do it again.
Oh no,
And I
not
get a
here.
damage.
That's bad.
So that'll put him to level 2.
Level 2, and you get the soul.
And I'll add a soul. And I
And
do
you,
get a push off of that.
yeah, but basically you are
I'll,
pretty good here because you are already
oh,
contesting the soul there. Um,
mhm.
because the problem is if you go there, so next turn, if I choose to attack you, then Zaron automatically provides me with a 1 assist. So yeah, he adds 1 die to all my dice pools. But in that position, you are two away from Donny, which is a better defensive position. So yeah, yeah, do that. I think that's pretty much two positions are pretty much the same. There are advantages and disadvantages. All right.
Yeah, and I'll get to go first next round, so I figured it'd be okay. So,
I think yes. So Zaron needs to do the impossible and just harvest the soul on the 7 with a reroll. I think that's possible. Let's try it. So Zaron, he only has the 2 action points, so he will try to do the soul harvest on 7. Whoa, he gets
hey,
it.
you got
He's
it.
level 2 souls, add souls, and then this soul will not spawn, but the next soul will spawn again on this side here. So we will just mark it because it was left side, right side. It will go again to the left side, and the next soul will spawn. And the soul only spawn if they are less than 2 unbound. So now it is only one unbound. Next turn the one will spawn. So Zaron basically cannot do anything else. He is level 2. That means that he can now summon skeletons without a fate cost. That's good. But he doesn't have any more action points because he just respawned now. So he's pretty bad. Alright. Turn end. Let's see what happens. First things first, regeneration. Donny, if he has any damage on him, he will regen. And let's see, click. Uh, Move unbound souls and then monsters. We have one unbound soul. The closest model to him is 1, 2, 3, 4 is Zara. 1, 2, 3, 4 is Skull. I think it will go towards Skull because he has more boxes. But yeah, I will roll it. 1 hex, I will just put it here. it goes near. Then the monster will go towards Skull because he's 3 hexes away. You can roll that. The gloom has been made faster, and now he moves d3 hexes. So uh,
One die, right?
one die, only one
One
hex,
square.
but you can determine where he moves. But it has to be, yeah, more closer to Skull than before. That's the generate fate. Okay, I will get a single fate because I have a soul. You have, no, I actually have 2 souls. Nice.
I'll
So
get I'll get 2 for my souls,
and
and then
d3
a
for the
D3, which will be 2.
nice. So now your fate starts adding up. That's pretty good. Spawn souls and monsters. This soul will get spawned on the left side. That's definitely useful. Monster, we already have a monster in play, so he will stay in play. And then resurrect hero models. Now, when you resurrect Brock, you just press J a lot of times to bring him back. So you press Ctrl Z on Brock to bring him back to life, or and then you heal him back up to full, because ISTA bonus is that when you respawn your heroes, they come back on full life and not life -5 like all other
Oh,
people.
nice.
So that means that I will
It's
also,
18.
so you bring back, yep. So that's pretty annoying, but it is how it is. And I
Does that
will
stay
also,
at my level 2, right?
yeah, it's you that recharges every turn. So this is a new turn, and your level 2 is again active. I could only kill you because the monster in that turn triggered your level 2, and then I killed you. But now you all again have your level 2. Each turn it recharges. So
Can
Rakir,
you hold multiple souls?
yeah,
Okay.
you can hold as many as you want, but if your hero is killed, then the souls are lost, and then your opponent's effigy will heal back up. So we both hold 2 souls. That means that both our effigies are on 8 boxes. So now they are getting into kill range, but they cannot be charged, and they have stealth, so not that easy to kill. So for example, my skull would have to walk 3 and start swinging at the effigy. Not that easy to kill. He cannot pretty much cannot do it. Cannot do 8 boxes in a single activation. Especially he cannot charge. And you also pretty much don't have anyone to walk and kill, but maybe next turn something will happen. Brock can do good things against the effigy with his backswing. I cannot use the poison on the effigy, for example, with Trakir, so no combat maneuver damage, and only your base stats count, so no Vorpal blades. So they are pretty hard to kill, the effigies. They are agility 3, resilience 1. But it is also possible to kill them, just not that easy. Okay, you can also now call your effigy power if you like. That
I
will
will not.
because that will heal your models a bit, but I think you have the first activation, so it's pretty good. And yeah, first activation,
All right.
your go.
So I'm gonna go with Thayin first,
Hmm.
and I will do a Wither Soul to Zeron.
Okay,
So
Zaron
7
only
onto 4 is 3.
I only get I don't get any protection, so you have three dice against me, and you get +1 damage because I hold 1 soul. Okay, hit me.
Yes,
Do your worst. Okay, not
I
that
will.
bad. That's 5 damage.
I'll do 5.
All right, that's bad.
Second activation,
Second action.
I'll do it again.
No. Let's see. Does Zaron have? Some heroes have things that they do. Vampiric Touch, Shadow Rift from below, Explode, Honor, Soul Gazer, Summoner. Okay, now two things will happen. I have an explode 5 rule on Zaron because he's a crazy guy like that. If you kill him, he explodes and damages Saiyan for 5.
Oh, automatically?
Yeah, he has this ability, the,
Mm.
but he also has the honor rule because he is the avatar of Krognar, so you gain a free fate for killing him. So he dies. You gain 5 damage, but you also gain a fate and a soul.
Oh, I haven't rolled yet for the second attack.
Oh, I thought you rolled the same dice. Okay.
No, I didn't know if you were spending fate to make me negative or anything like that. I
No, no,
haven't rolled.
that is only on charges. You
Oh,
can
it's only
only,
on charge.
yeah, yeah. That's only as a stand your ground against a charge thing, but
Gotcha. All right.
against this. Okay. But then if you're
Oh,
rolling the same dice pool, it's always good to click more dice and then go back to 3. That so that we know that
okay. So
it's a
like
separate
this and
roll
then down. Okay.
because I don't have the. Well, that's through 4 damage.
Okay.
Okay, so 4 damage, so
So,
I'm left at 1 actually
and I
here.
get to push myself. So I'll
Yeah,
push here
yep.
and I'll do it again. So click all and then click here. And I'll
Uh,
get the one necessary to kill.
and you also, when you activated this saying, you healed for
Uh,
2 points.
yeah, I forgot about that. Should
Yeah.
be at 13.
So Zaron is dead. You get his soul. You are on 2 souls. And
Levels to
yeah,
3
level 3. And Sane has a
and
great
a
thing
fate
on
point.
level 3 is that she can bank souls remotely. Now you don't have the action point to do it,
Right.
but if you
Um,
had, it would be pretty amazing.
so I get a fate point, putting me up to 7, and then
Mm,
I'll spend a fate point to sleep Skull.
nah, that's insane. Yeah, that's fate point, and that model cannot be activated during the next enemy activation. That's actually the ideal play because Cole has a pretty good thing. He has soul burn for 1 action, 1 fate. Enemies within 2 hexes take d3 plus 1 true damage per soul bound to them. So he would activate and do the soul burn. You are both within 2 hexes, and I would do, yeah, a lot of damage to both of them. But now Skull cannot activate, so I need to think of something. And I really cannot
That's
do
saying.
much. Yeah. So you need only 1 more soul to win, and that's pretty bad. So Brock and Donnie can attack this dude. Hmm. How do we do this? The problem is, even if I Shadow Step with Drakir for 1 AP, I attack Saiyan. Donnie can do her redirection, so we will not do that. We will do this move here. We will go with, let's see, there. Yeah, we will go with Rakir, and he will charge Gloom, and he will go down, left, down, left. So down, left. You can go through souls because they are like incorporeal models, but you cannot stand on them. We will charge Gloom, and we try to roll something good. Well, actually, before I do that, when you are respawning, you can buy something from your effigy for without an action cost, but only on the respawn.
Okay.
And I will spend a fate
Oh, I forgot about that.
to grab him a warpole to improve his dice pool. So,
Oh, Brock couldn't hold anything extra else, could he? Right?
uh, what's your
Because you
question?
only get 2 items, right?
You, yeah. You need to replace. You have one offensive of warpole, and you have your agility boots. If you want to get another item, you can sell your one of your items and get another one in that slot. So
So
if
that's what I was trying to remember. Is like characters can only have one of each item, so the
yeah,
max they can hold is 2.
yeah.
Okay.
So Brock can also, because he's respawned, he can also do a free buy and sell if you want to replace your Warpole, for example, with Armor Shredder, because Skull has Agility 1. You could do that, but I think it's better to go with the Warpole, more better dice pool and more chances to trigger your backswing, it will give you more damage in this scenario than Shudder. Okay, Rakir buys a Warpole for free for 1 fate, charges down here to Gloom. And what I want to do with Gloom is basically maybe if I score 3 pushes, I can push Gloom down to your effigy and then he will bite your effigy because he's bloodthirsty like that. So I'm 8, Gloom is 4, I have 6 dice against him. And I really get that thing. So now I pick my dice in a way that to enable me to do that. I will pick a J and 2 pushes and basically send Gloom um, there. Yeah, I will send Gloom into your effigy and I have a single J, so I would do him 1-2 damage and then send him sliding there. Gloom will bite the effigy. He has an 8, effigy has a 3, so it will be a 5 dice. He will crit, that's 6 damage down to 5. You have 12 on it. Then 1, 2, 1, 2, 5. So your effigy is on 7, but then Rakir is unfortunately um, done. He only had 2 action points because he respawned. So that's not good. And my effigy is on 4 boxes, so it's near death. All right, over to you.
So why did Gloom get to attack the effigy?
Because when you push a monster into effigies and heroes, he does an attack. If you are pushed into Gloom, he does an attack. So these monsters are just aggressive like that, and when you come into contact with them or they come into contact with you, they do an attack. So pushing Gloom into the effigy triggers his attack, and he attacks the effigy.
Okay.
But your effigy next turn
Dawn
will regen back up to his
the full,
the
right?
soul
Or its
determined.
current max.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
current max.
So Dawn Regar's gonna charge. And he's gonna charge here.
Hmm.
That gives me 6 onto your 3, which will be 3 dice.
Yep, I will
And
not
then 2 more
spend.
for charging, which is 5 here. And then 5. So
Mm.
that's
If you take
a
the
crit.
max damage, then it will be 5 down to 4, or you can take the medium and push me into Brock to improve your dice pool.
Yeah,
I
that's what I
think
wanted to do.
which one?
I wanted to push you into Brock.
So that will be
So
3 damage down to 2, and then you push me.
yeah, I'll push you there.
And now you have a 4 dice swing if you want to continue damaging me.
And let me read here. I will then spend 1 for Stone Grasp, so you can't move away from me.
Yeah, I cannot take advances, but I can push myself out. But it's still, you have the fate, so it's okay. It limits my options. And now your
And
last action
then,
point will be,
yeah, I guess I don't think I need a Stone Form because that makes me immune to pushes and stuff, but that still lets you push for free. So I think
yeah,
just getting you as low as possible is still the correct call. So
yeah,
I'll get 4 dice on this with Brock next to me,
yep,
which
okay.
is great. So I'll do 5, which will be 4.
All right, Skull is not happy. Okay, Donnie is done, and now I need to do
Yeah.
something magical. What I will do is I will activate Skull and he will swing into Brock. He is warrior ahead now, so he has melee 6. Brock is, well actually Brock is a 4. Now I will swing into Donnie because that gives me a better dice pool. Donny is a 3. That's 3. Brock is distracting, so I'll only have 2 dice. So let's try with 2 dice and hit Donny. Bam. That will be 1 damage to Donny, and I will push myself out to here. After that, let's see. Yeah, I will use my effigy recall power for 1 because I'm Krognar, and instead of 2. Effigy recall is teleport to your base. Usually it's 2 action points, but Krognar's bonus gives me 1 action point, so I will place myself here, and for my last action I will go subtract souls and souls, add souls. I will just clone one of these and mark it as 1 soul in my effigy. So basically you need to kill, so those souls cannot be lost unless you kill the effigy, and that's Skull done. That's all he could do. And then you have Brock. So Brock
Okay.
can, well, he only has 2 action points. He could charge Rakir, but you can also finish off that Gloom, because next turn as Gloom starts activating, he will again bite your effigy, so that's not what you want to have. So you either attack Rakir, attack Gloom, but you only have 2 action points to do it, so a single charge. And the problem is Rakir, even if you do it, Rakir cannot really kill Brock because you have the heroic destiny, or what's it called?
Let
So
me
you
read
are,
Monster Slayer.
yeah, Monster Slayer. You do 6 on crits.
Is it just always a flat 1 extra to monsters?
Yeah,
Okay.
extra 1 extra damage. But it's, you can crit him for 6 and kill him, and then maybe push into somewhere and to take your backswing against Rakir or someone else. Yeah, there are options.
Yeah, because the only way Rakir dies is on 2 and you're a 4,
Yeah,
so
you
I would
cannot
get.
you cannot crit me twice because you only have a single charge. You crit once, but then your backswing cannot crit because it says it's in its rules, so you can do 5
Yeah.
and 3 8 boxes to Rakir.
So we'll charge Gloom
Mm.
because I need him to die.
Yep.
That's 8 onto his 4, so it'll be 6 dice.
And the thing is between you. The effigy will also distract you, so it's one more
Okay, so
die.
my
Or
effigy distracts me too.
but
Okay,
you can go 1 hex more, then you have a clear shot, and then you can maybe
sure.
push back onto safety. So 6 dice here because 8, yeah. And that is,
Mm,
but you can still reroll with fate to get the crit if you
yeah,
want.
so I'll re-roll the failures, which is the 1, 2s, and 3s, right?
No, when rerolling with fate, you reroll the complete dice pool, so it can
Oh,
be
it's the
also
entire dice
worse.
pool.
But with 6 dice,
Okay,
its crit is pretty likely.
okay. So I just re-roll again. So here, and then here. Oh,
And
even worse.
okay, but you can then push Gloom uh, away from your effigy. Uh,
Yep, 1.
um, it's better. I think it's better to push yourself back into Dawn Regard protection range. Push Gloom for 2, and whatever happens, Gloom will go towards you because you have more health than your effigy. So Gloom will try to attack you, and even if he bites you with a hard damage, Donnie can take it and not really care about it because he has a million HP, and Donnie will also regen next turn. So two hexes push
Yeah, I'm
on
just
Gloom.
thinking.
Just make sure you don't end your activation with Gloom next to you, because at the end of your activation, Gloom will bite you. So push Gloom somewhere where he is more distant than the effigy, then Brock, and then Gloom will walk back to you.
Yeah, it's just decide where to go. I'll do that.
I think that's good because then it's equidistant and then Gloom will just walk to you. Alright, uh, is that all for this turn? It is, right? I
Yes.
will uncheck my models. First things first, regen. Donnie will regen for 3 points and he's probably 21 HP now, so he will go to his
Okay.
max. Everyone else is feeling fine, not my people. That was move unbound souls and then monsters. This soul will go towards Rakir. It will just go here. Monster will go towards Brock. You will go here. You will have the edgy boots. Bites you with 4 dice. Crits you for 6. So you can take that. Well, actually, he rolls a 6. You take that with Donnie, and you take 5 with Donnie.
Yeah,
With
do that.
redirection, that's the most optimal play, I would say. And your effigy is back at 12 boxes. Okay,
Yeah.
that's Unbound Soul and Mother. Generate Fate. I have a single soul, I get Fate. You have 3, so you get 3 Fate and D3 from the shrine.
One, two, four.
So that's a lot. Normal games you don't get that this many Fate. It's just very one-sided with the soul game and everything. So it starts getting out of hand. Spawn souls and monsters. You have 2 unbound souls, nothing spawns. Monster is on the board, nothing spawns. Resurrect dead hero models. Zaron will come back and then he will just stand there. But he really cannot do much. And then end of communion phase, you can declare your effigy power if you like. If you declare it, for example, Brock can charge without free strikes. He could charge
Yeah.
Zaron. He could
And that's what I'm
charge
gonna
Rakir
do.
and basically kill him, and then you win the game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I was gonna declare the effigy power because I was also thinking about
But I
saying
think,
trying to fly somewhere
yeah,
and
I
pick up a
think I
soul.
have the first activation, but
You do. Yeah.
uh, but I cannot see Saiyan. I see Brock, but he is so Donnie is was on max and he got 5 boxes. So Skull could come down here and soul harvest. Maybe try that. Or but then the problem is then you kill Brock. How do you get your final soul? If you walk with Sane and try to soul harvest there, yeah, I need to protect that. So I will activate just Skull. He will walk here 1, 2, 3, and he will just put a bulwark on Rakir, and then what should he do? What should he do? Let's see. He will walk once more to here, and then activation there. Okay, that's cool. That's my first activation. Trying to survive. Skull also has a defensive ability that is called Watch Out. When a basic attack targets a friendly non-defender within 2 hexes, Skull can choose to interrupt the attack before the number of attack dice. The model gains +1 edgy and is immune to ganging up for the duration of that attack. So that's a one-time 1 edgy for Rakir if you choose to attack him. That's it.
So what
Okay.
is a effigy stats?
Effigy is agility 3 and the agility 3 and
Resist one?
resist 1. So for example, you could walk 4 with Saiyan, be within 2 of, for example, here, and you could zap the effigy twice. If you
And I
if you
need solid or
yeah, you need
crit
yes,
lands.
two swords to kill it. You could, for example, walk here and soul harvest this soul with a 7 on a reroll to instantly win, and or you could, for example, go with Rakir, or not Rakir, but if you declare your effigy power for flight, you could
Yeah, I did. I healed a
you can
phone
charge
card.
with Brock. You can charge on Skull, and then I think you can do 9 points pretty easy because you crit for 5 down to 4. Then you swing once more. Your backswing you can do 2 more. That's 6 damage on your charge attack, and then you need to do that. You can finish Skull off. And yeah, you have options. And Brock cannot charge the effigy because he cannot see it and it's unchargeable. So that's not
Yeah.
possible. You cannot charge Zaron because you cannot see him, but you can walk charge on Zaron.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
We'll
are some
go
options.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And I'm just checking Wither Soul if you would get a bonus, but I think it's only against heroes. Where is it? Oh, Ogre is so seer. Wither Soul attack +1 damage for each soul bound to the target of Wither Soul. I think you would get the damage, but I think I think effigies are like no extra damage from any source, so I think you will not get this. You only get your base bare bones stats against the effigies. Yeah, but you have 2 rerolls. You have good chances to zap,
Yeah,
or
I get
you could
4 dice.
yeah, 4 dice.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, roll 4.
Big
Okay,
here.
that is 2 damage.
Yep. Yep. That's what one of the things I need. So I'll do that, and then
And
2 damage.
that's 2 damage again. Congratulations. And then
Neat.
my god effigy explodes and you win, and you would yeah, when you play in online leagues or in person, you would get this win as a 4 souls to, I think I only had, no, I had 2 souls at one point, so I would book 2 souls in my score even if I lost them. But basically, how you do it is you document it, you count your hero levels, add them up, and then you just document them, and basically that's your score, and that's it.
Neat.
All right. Well, thank you for the attention, and we will hopefully play again sometime. I just really need to go have my breakfast.
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate you teaching me, so appreciate the time. So hope you
uh,
have a good rest of the day, and
Hopefully it was not too confusing. I will upload this game on YouTube, so it has a lot of explanation. Maybe it's good for teaching people.
yeah,
And
no, I felt pretty